Alrighty, I believe we're on. It still says that this is muted, so I'm not 100% sure, but that's because he's not deafened. I got it. We are back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm muted and you not. Great. So we are back, ladies and gentlemen. This is your best bud, Darth Ackley, joined by the infamous
Teal Grunt, but some people call me Teal. We're going to find out as we cast tonight what we're going to call me, but I'm going to be your new best bud. We'll go with Teal for now.
It's going to be great. For those of you who don't know this, which would be weird if you did because nobody should have told you, we're actually sitting beside each other, which is crazy in COVID times, but we are doing it because we're roommates.
We've been roommates
for what we're saying is that
like 10 years. We're common law at this point. It's pretty nasty.
So welcome everybody to the next qualifier match for the Overwatch for Charity. We got Hubris, Hampter, and Redditors, both of whom have won their games earlier. So whoever the winner of this game is, I believe, ends up being seed, most likely will be seed 1 or will be seed 1, and that pretty much gets them right to the finals or the quarterfinals. I don't have the schedule. What's the schedule? Let me look at this. It at least gets them to the semis.
I mean, hey, being able to skip around and not having to do a play-in, which is great, is always going to be beneficial. So, I mean, both of these teams are going to be going hard out of the gate here, trying to really kind of close this out in 2. Don't want to go to a third map here, for sure.
So we got Hubris Hampter repping Sick Kids and the Redditors repping the, what was it called? The something leash? Something about a leash. It's a charity that represents foster dogs. So, and that's always a good, nice thing.
Let's see what we're starting the night off with. And thank you for everyone for sticking around for that slightly longer delay, but we are back here with some Overwatch. And we're looking over here and we're seeing some Roadhog, which is always fun on this map. You know, some great boop and pull possibilities coming through with Lucio's as well. But what I'm really interested to see how it plays out is Regal on the Sombra. Now, I didn't get to see the match, so hopefully this will give me a better look into what their plans are.
Round 1, capture.
Alrighty, well, we got by pure Redditors fashion, we have a comp that is pretty much everybody split, doing their own things and making Reddit plays. More of a brawl comp coming in from Hubris Hampter, who are taking this high ground. They have a ball coming up behind them, which they may not be aware, but they get a stun. He still is able to get by, and a ball slept in the backlines of Hubris Hampter. They collapse onto him, but he is able to get away while J-Prod taking Acid out on that McCree to Genji. We got a big purple on Hubris Hampter, but it looks like they're going to be making their way to their point right now.
Ruby, it's really anyone's here. I mean, at this point, they've traded out a couple different players, but we do have Papa-phobic on point here, which is great. Really just kind of taking the space here with that Roadhog with Ruby.
Yeah, see, this is the kind of thing that J-Prod just taking him out. This
look at that, 2 hooks!
Hook and hook and hook and hook. Or as the kids say, oh, that's a real hooker.
Oh, are we getting another boop here from Old Stoneface, possibly? Oh, that was close. But it looks like, yeah, we are going to be stabilizing here, and the Hubris Hamsters will be taking this first fight. And I mean, not convincingly, but like it was a good push and pull here, or a tug, or a hook, however you want to phrase it.
It's kind of hard once Hubris Hampter gets their tanks onto the point there, you know.
Not a ton of pressure on the point. Like you said, the Redditors are going to be going off doing their own thing. So I think the game plan here, maybe for Hubris, is to really go in as a core and kind of not really, you know, split off too much.
And we're taking the fight in the back here, which is in this tiny little thing. A hook coming in from, who is that, Ruby, and they immediately take out Dr. Sensible.
But we do need to watch out. Regal is coming behind, and I feel like this auto player over on Hubris may be getting a slight surprise soon.
A rotation out, and High Noon is out for... Oh my god, this is... I don't know how anybody has casted a Redditors game so far, because it's chaotic. Zoroaster, ooh, a whole hog getting 2 from the Hubris Hampter, and it looks like they were able to get the flip and now just clean up. There's still a hog in the back over there.
Oh, Hubris getting our fantastic Ruby on Hubris. Hamster's getting a little bit of that stall magic happening to him. And, you know, he's going to meet up with his team, but we also already have Papa-phobic coming in already without really the rest of his team to back him up.
And Hubris Hampter is coming out onto the back end again, trying to take the same kind of rotation, but a hook from Zoroaster picks out one of their back lions on Pink Lions. Their back lions. I'm okay with that. But Hubris is still pushing in and taking that. A hook onto Zoroaster ends up getting it. A beat coming out, and the EMP in the back line, but I don't think that it's enough. With the beat already up there, it doesn't get rid of the shield. Yet I say that, and Casper throws the heck out of those people because they get taken out, even through the shields taken from the beat.
And it looks like it's one man versus the world here until, of course, we have Dr. Sensible coming in with the backup to try and help old Stoneface House, but it is a slightly too late as this recontest is feeling a little weak.
Hack coming out just a little shy of hitting Asaid as he is coming in with the blade. Honestly, Redditors are stalling out this point so well.
Yeah, I was wondering why they weren't grouping up, and of course that's because they wanted to get as much percentage as they could on that point. And to that effect, Old Stoneface stalled out that point just long enough for Dr. Sensible and the rest of his team to get there, just to have kind of a nothing fight, but probably gained another 5 or 6% off that.
Ooh, another hook. It seems like every team fight is just starting with these hooks on the opposite hog. A massive garlic flux coming out from Dr. Sensible, and Redditors are just pushing into this. A nano coming onto Ruby in the backline to see if they're going to be able to stall it out, but it doesn't.
Poor Ruby all by himself getting hooked right off the map.
However, getting a boop onto Dr. Sensible always feels nice.
I mean, you're totally right, though. The hog is really kind of starting these fights, is really just kind of dictating the pace. And you'll also notice that the hog is getting the first pick almost. Oh, and then just like that, another hook coming in with Zoroaster. These names, folks. Names are going to be a thing tonight.
And it looks as though Hubris Hampter wants to do the same rotation they've been doing. And, oh, no, it was a fake out. They faked me out real good because, in
big
fact...
sleep coming onto Regal on the sideline. Are we going to get a kill off that? No, we will get a translocate out of that.
We have a whole hog coming out from Ruby as well, pushing Dr. Sensible, Zoroaster off of the point, J-Prod getting followed up, and Stein getting taken up by Acid. This is looking like Hubris Hampter is going to be able to flip the point, 93%. Dr. Sensible switching over to the ball just to be able to get it, and Rigel, invisible, is going to be able to touch the point, but he gets found out by Acid, just spamming. That is a classic spy check, and they are not able to touch. And
wow. I mean, what a great first point. Like, absolutely back and forth, 99 to 100%. I mean, obviously these two teams won for a reason in their first matches. But you're totally right that it really does feel like a battle of the hogs. I mean, it'll probably switch up here. I don't expect both teams to run the hog. Although, it does feel like Ruby may stick on that hog pick.
For those of you who didn't tune into the interviews yesterday, an important point to note about these two teams is that Hubris specifically called out Stein, who then immediately followed up Stein in his interview saying that they are going to be crushing skulls with the Hubris Hampter in this game. So
that is not what I'm seeing on the screen. I'm seeing a fat 0 on the side of Stein's team.
Stein maybe have to, cast or curse himself. All right, we have a rush coming in with a sim teleporter directly on point from the Hubris Hampter, and it's being met by a brawl comp meta from the Redditors as well. I'm sorry, I burped while I said that. And yeah, the sim turrets behind are just able to keep the Redditors at bay, and a hammer down already coming out from Zoroaster on that Reinhardt, who catches nothing but J-Prod catching away Asaid, Dr. Sensible unmeching Ruby, but this sim is just pumping out so much damage that I think that Pink Lion... Oh, and sorry, I've just got distracted by this. Somebody getting slapped in the back. Pink Lions is just single-handedly walking through this team with this high-powered beam and just taking everybody out.
This is crazy. There was a hammer down on the side of the Redditors before the point unlocked, and they still lost this fight. And pretty much only due to Pink Lions' Symmetra.
That Symmetra pick was absolutely just carried that fight because Redditors were getting picks in the back line, getting slept out there, and then Pink Lions, that high charge beam, you want to be afraid. But it looks like what is your name here? The Redditors are coming in from this underneath position and trying to meet them. A massive purple coming up from Eviscerator onto the backline of the Redditors. Acai taking out J-Prod and Zoroaster, finding Ruby. It looks as though... Oh, another hammer down coming in from Papaphobic. Cleaning up that backline, just casually walking in with Acai, just walking with that Reinhardt. But in the backline, Dr. Sensible has taken out 2 of the healers onto the Hubris Hampter. It doesn't look like it's enough to flip, although Orion is coming in from the side. Almost!
I mean, this fight is feeling more and more trickly. It looked like it was going one way, it's going another now. And we are going to be getting those respawns coming in, but probably quicker on the side of Hubris Hamsters, because they do have that sim portal still up.
Yeah, that was a very back and forth kind of fight. It was like 2 fights happening in 2 different directions. Both of them won, but when you have the point, it's just a lot easier.
I mean, look at these ults coming in. Look at that bank on the side of the Redditors coming in. All ults aflame. Let's go.
Every ult was just pressed. Every single person in the game just pressed Q almost, just to be able to get onto this point. A massive shatter followed up. And Ruby taking out 2 with this.
Out of the 8 ults that went off, I think the only one that picked up kills there was Acai's Reaper there, which is crazy because, yeah, everyone pressed Q at the same time, which is a little ridiculous.
And a wall coming out from Pink Lions. 2 already down for the Redditors as Pink gets slept. Or Zoroaster, sorry, who gets slept as he's trying to stall it out on the ball, but it's hard to stall with a Symmetra lasering you down with those turrets. Stein running for his life from Papaphobic and gets taken out. A grab came out? Oh, right there, in the middle. Okay, yeah. As it looks like the Redditors are slowly trickling in, but it does not look good for them as Hubris Hampter take that first win.
I mean, and convincingly. Like, we did have a little bit of a back and forth on that first point with all those Roadhog hooks, but once we really got down to brass tacks, the Redditors kind of came up flat here. They walked in to that last real fight with 6 ults online, and instead of having any kind of strategy around them, all just decided to press Q pretty much at the same time. Now, don't get me wrong, great strategy most of the time. On my ranked matches, let me tell you, works every time like a charm. But when you're playing here with an organized team, it just doesn't work out.
I mean, yeah, Redditors, they... Honestly, I think that the Redditors' bread and butter is do the Reddit plays.
So the individual plays, going off, doing your own thing.
They got it to 99%, and then when they try to match up against with the Ryan Zarya comps, it's just too.
It's rough. It's rough out there, and also
that's Hubris Hampter's bread and butter. And you want to have your bread and butter, and you want to let them have their bread and butter, and then you can make a butter
you want
sandwich.
all the bread and you want all the butter. You don't want to share that bread and butter. Okay, I've been to a Thanksgiving dinner or 2 in my life, and I like that bread and butter. That's mine.
Why don't you tell us more about the
I mean, look, you got your turkey, you got cranberry sauce, and maybe a couple of glasses of wine. But you know, at the end of the day, what's always left in the middle of the table? What's the first thing there when you show up and your mom says hi? You kind of ignore your dad because he's a bit of a... Anyways, the bread and butter. The bread and butter are right there in the middle of the table, and that's what you want. That's what you came for.
This has been Thanksgiving Cast. Thank you so much for tuning in. All right. So yes, we are moving on to King's Row. So this is a good point for those of you who haven't realized. This is the first of the second games of the qualifiers, which means that we are making a map change. So as we just saw going into Nepal, we now are in a completely different map pool than we have been playing the earlier.
So a different rotation is happening, essentially.
Yes, a different rotation.
Is this the first time tonight that we are seeing King's Row played?
It is, which is pretty much the best Overwatch.
I mean, it's hard to disagree. I would say that and Temple of Anubis for me are my top 2 favorite.
You know what? In this community, you would get.
I mean, I know 2CP, blah blah blah. 2CP.
I'm with you.
I think it's a well constructed map that you can have fights almost on every part of that map. You can use every part of that map. There's not one streamline. You can fight anywhere.
But we are talking about King's Row now, which is the map we are going into. I think that between this, the Hubris Hampter just showed us how strong they are on the Rhine Zarya, and I feel like they are going to keep that going into this map because Rhine Zarya is very strong. On
Yes,
King's Row.
but I to go back to your point about the Redditors, on King's Row, more often than not, I feel we see the most individual pop-offs happen on this map. You will see Widow plays, you will see big flanks, you will see surprise after surprise on this map. So if the Redditors really do go with their namesake and kind of make those individualistic plays, I think they could have the upper hand here.
It looks like we're getting a dive comp out of the Redditors for their attack on King's Row first, and a Rhine Diva, which I like. I like a good Rhine Diva comp, followed up with a Asaid on that Reaper, Pink Lions on the Mei, Eviscerator holding on the Anna, and Harbear on that Lucia.
I mean, a speedy Reaper, that is a scary thing. Otherwise, he's just kind of slowly walking up to me, and I don't really care. But having that Lucio is really,
I'm sorry, the
really
Redditors
great.
have also made a liar out of me because they have switched over to the Rhine Zarya comp with Rigel on the McCree and then J-Prod on that Widow, who J-Prod is pretty scary on that Widow, so I don't doubt it. We have the Redditors coming in. They are speeding directly towards past the statue and moving through the hotel. No, it was just a little tease. Gets immediately walled off. Their Redditors Reinhardt gets walled off and is able to protect himself by backing up into the corner. And now they are just waiting for that shield to recharge before moving in. This is a great defense from the Hubris Hampter, who are just holding into the back corner. A wall a little bit too wide allows for the Redditors to kind of walk past it, and they are now testing the point. A sleep and purple, but gets immediately nullified by a by a bubble from Dr. Sensible, and it looks as though this is now moving towards the Redditors.
Yeah, there was some great discipline there. We had two Ryans backing off, regrouping. We had people trying to go for different abilities here with walls, purples, bubbles, everything kind of being used. We even saw, I think, Dr. Sensible, or no, it was probably Ruby, who tried to take a flanking option off to the side. Didn't really work out for them, but that all being said, it was a great point of patience and discipline.
And now the Redditors are coming in for the second point. They don't even bother to have somebody on card. Oh, no. Okay, there we go. But they are pushing up strong into this. Rigel already taking out Popophobic, and a Nano coming into Zoroaster, who is just holding this front line. I mean, this is kind of what you want to do on a King's Row, right? You want to just take as much space as you possibly can, hold them back, and allow for that card to just push through.
Yeah, you don't even want to have a fight on the second stage of this map. You want to just roll through here, and right now, that's exactly what we're doing here. Zoroaster is really picking up that space, making sure that there's really no fight happening in any kind of place they don't want it. But you are seeing here the Hubris Hampter starting to make their move.
A wall coming out, and Blizzard catching both of the Redditor tanks. And now it looks like it's going to be Stein. Stein is able to get that pick off with a grenade and a nade. But yeah, it looks like they are going to be retreating back, regrouping, and then pushing back in. With, the Hubris Hampter down Pink Lions right now on that Mei, so...
Oh, there is a battle going on, and Harbear takes out J-Prod up top, where they had Iseed going one-on-one with J-Prod, but Harbear said, no, I brought the reinforcements, and came down with a couple of balls.
Sleep coming onto Rigel, but I feel as though the Redditors are going to be pushing into this Harb as they have the advantage to be able to push in, and Harbear taking out J-Prod again. That is one Sniper Zenyatta.
I mean, it is so tough being a Zenyatta out there, folks. So the fact every time I see a Zenyatta up on the kill feed, killing a Widow of all things, just makes you feel good.
Although Redditors are taking their space, but they got to worry about that wall. It gets broken immediately as soon as the wall out, but it's not enough to keep Zoroaster alive as Eviscerator just eviscerates Zoroaster on that Rhine, and it looks like the Redditors are going to be backing up a very aggressive charge coming up from Popophobic, who gets taken by the rest of the Redditors there. A Nano coming out onto Dr. Sensible's Zarya, a bubble protecting himself from the freeze as he's lasering down the Diva and Mei in front of him, and
we do have J-Prod's ultimate online here, so they did happen to catch Harbear out in the small cafe and just, gets another kill here on Eviscerator. It does look like Redditors are going to be able to push this card forward.
I mean, that's what you... J-Prod must feel good getting that revenge onto Harbear. Ooh, Zoras are getting caught out a little too far ahead, but I think that it's not going to matter as the cart is just pushing into second as it comfortably rests into place.
I mean, I'm looking for this Harbear Stein one-on-one off here. I'm looking for Harbear to get a headshot on Stein, you know, just because we had some minced words prior to the match. You know, they're doing both well for their teams. A couple purples, a couple headshots here, but I really want to see them go toe-to-toe.
Zoroaster charging in, making it all the way back from the bad spawn that he got, and now holding that front line of Blizzard coming out from the May on Hubris Hampter, and they are able to clean up off of it as the tanks are just pushing up against whoever is left. And Saeed on that Genji just getting headshot after headshot.
I mean, Pink Lions' walls are coming in real handy here. Let me tell you, having a May on your team just makes you second guess every small movement that you do moving into a point. So here we have, coming back in here, we're just getting reset up. We do have I see it going for a little bit of a flank here off to the side as Genji just making sure, just poking out, seeing what's going on.
Another wall coming up, blocking off those tanks from the Redditors, and a trans being caused from Hubris Hampter. Oh, a lot of ults, bombs, blades, bomb blades, shoots, taking it all out. My god, that was a nano blade bomb Blizzard, no, not the Blizzard combo, but a wall combo. That was, yeah.
That being said, what are we left with? We're left with a couple of ults on each side. Dr. Sensible and Stein coming online right now. And of course, we have Papaphobic, and we will have Pink Lions' ult coming online as well. I mean, this team likes to push Q all at the same time, so I'm looking forward to... Here comes... Look at those Qs go!
I mean, yeah, it looks as though Zoroaster was getting a little bit tired of Saeed on that. Genji switches over to the Winston and running a double bubble comp now. Rigel taking out Saeed in the black line, and Harbear going for the flank and takes out Rigel and is now just fighting for his life in this back. But
I mean, give Harbear that DPS gold medal. Why not?
Yeah.
Give him that damage and eliminations. Because right now, he's kind of the star of the show on my mind over on the Hubris Hamster.
And it looks as though, oh, a massive shatter coming in from Papaphobic, who takes them, but they're just not able to follow up on it. It's so many down, and it's so unbearable when you see that as a Reinhardt player, just out of your reach.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes like that small little bit of communication saying, hey, I'm going for a shatter, and not having the rest of your team with you. When you get a 5-man fat shatter and they're not there to pick up the pieces, it really does. It's just completely disheartening.
Harbear taking out J-Prod again with a monkey ulting in the back line, but while this monkey is hitting people around, it seems as though the rest of the Hubris Hampter are just cleaning up his team. Zoroaster taking out 2, though, hitting Harbear off of the map and now holding into this backline, trying to leap back, who gets a nano in order to just keep this push going.
I mean, let's just say it. Let's say it how it is. Zoroaster coming in hard, just wiping out the rest of the team. Look at that, 2 more kills. I think that's probably close to 5 or 6 he's got in the last 30 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, that was a very good Zoroaster being able to come back, get the nano, keep that push going when you are stalling out on the point. And now Harbear taking out old Stoneface, and Zoroaster, okay, ult's coming out. We got a Nano Blade coming in the back with another Transcendence, taking out 2, and Frozen Zoroaster falls to oblivion. Goodbye, my good friend. I will miss you forever.
Yeah, I mean, we've got 20 seconds left, and what do we have online for both teams? We do have Dr. Sensible coming in with a grab. Actually, most of the Redditors have ults online here. They should be able to push through and get this 3rd point capture, but the May Globe is coming out hot.
I don't know, 7 seconds, they have to touch that point, they have to get on there, and Zoroaster making a leap of faith. He just gets the touch, but his team getting wiped out behind him as he's doing it. But I say that, and you know what the heck do I know, because J-Prod comes through with his Genji plays, as now Stein is battling out against Saeed with Zoroaster's help. He takes him out, and they are pushing this in. Is Papaphobic going to be able to touch? He charges in with his life and is able to touch, but immediately taking it out from Rigel. The ball stall, as it were. We should have had that on the bingo cards instead of a Panic Bastion. And now it seems as though this Ruby is stalling out on the ball, And you can hear those widow shots just being taken. Asaid trying really hard to just be able to stall it out. Spin to win. You can do this. I believe in you. Ryan charging back in. Gets immediately purpled and taken out. Papaphoba can't live. And Ruby.
I mean, Ruby spin to win. Good on you. Probably bought an extra 20 seconds, a couple of respawns. Also picked up the kill there on Dr. Sensible. So had that Ryan stuck around for an extra 5 seconds, we may even had a proper recontest here.
Yes, that was
Initiating match.
that was a very good.
Oh, I mean, it was great. It kind of gave you a little bit of everything you want. You had support playing DPS characters, essentially. You had some big alt combos coming out, some whiffs, a couple of fun flanks. But I'll be honest with you, I am more surprised out of the support lines of both of these teams, because really at the end of the day, it does feel like their win conditions are coming from their supports, which I don't think in both of these comps I would normally think.
Yeah, I mean, with this rivalry between Stein and Harbert, Stein having been Hubris Hampter is essentially the team that won the last OFC tournament.
Oh,
minus I think a few members, and one of those members is Stein, who basically was like,
he jumped ship,
he
went
was
to
like,
the other
"Yeah,
side.
I don't need you guys," and he walked off into a sunset.
Oh,
made
so
his
there was
own
more than
team.
just a friendly rival here. This is a betrayal. This is a leaving, heading off into the distance, turning your back on your team and saying, "I can do better."
Yep, and you know what? We are going to see whether or not they can. We are seeing the two brawl comps, essentially the same comps that we have, although Stein is now on the Baptiste, the fairest character in Overwatch, totally balanced. Everybody loves them. We have Hubris Hampter coming in aggressively onto their attack, moving around the statue, but keeping their backline near the choke as they kind of suss out exactly which way they want to be pushing. Bubbles out from Dr. Sensible, and a barrier destroyed. We all heard it, we all love to hear it, and it pushes Hubris Hampter back to the choke as they try to reestablish exactly where we're going to be going.
And we've got another 30-second shatter online again from Zoroaster, which is crazy.
And they're not going to expect it. But a nano coming up from Eviscerator, and Zoroaster tries to get the shatter out, but it's not enough as this nanoed Ryan in the backline is just wreaking havoc. He's backing up to try and get that heals, and is he? Oh, the DM coming out from Ruby facing the wrong way to save Papaphobic, but now they are still fighting it.
Are the Redditors gonna clutch this out?
I think that they are. I think that the Redditors are going to be doing it.
That is surprising. When you tell me you lose your main tank as the first casualty of a fight, I'm done. That's the end of the fight right there. But the Redditors, again, that individualistic plays that the Redditors can make, you never know if a fight is truly won until you've captured that point.
J-Prod in that back of the back line, just wiping through the Hubris Hampter, and then a Wugo Chuck a Ticket to Cow coming up with Pink Lions as a panic.
We've got a lot of these ults coming online here. We're looking probably into a Dr. Sensible or maybe even a J-Prod Blade. And really on the side of Hubris Hamsters, they got to start building something here because they're about to get flattened by a couple ults.
Well, I think that we're about to see a J-Prod Blade come out, but now with Harbert up with that Transcendence, and Rigel picking Pink Lions out first, I think is going to have the Hubris Hampter back off a little bit, wait for their respawn before fully committing into this fight.
Again, a lot of great discipline being shown by these two teams. Although in the first attack defense, we were having it more centered around the hotel. Now we're fighting around this statue, and really great discipline. Somebody went out, but a big blade coming out here.
That was a very, very admirable. Oh, jeez. Okay, everything just happened.
This fight is not over. We still have
this is happening.
Zarya with probably close to 100 charge here, fighting against a D.Va with getting a bomb off here. Is she gonna get anything? Nothing, and out of the remake. And again, the Redditors somehow clinch out this fight.
Not only that, they clinch out that fight by just keeping that 100 charge Zarya going, and then J-Prod still has his blade online to be able to take this back.
How did the Redditors walk away from that fight with more of the ult advantage?
That was, I mean, Dr. Sensible trying to grab the blade was very admirable, but he didn't even need to because he could just turn around and melt the team. And now the Hubris Hampter are coming back in. 2 taken out right away, followed up immediately by a hammer down from Zoras or Acai taking out Rigel, but I don't think that it's going to be enough. J-Prod has been holding on to this blade, and I think that it is going to be... I don't know. This is going to be a tough one. Going into a blade on essentially your last fight, you're not really going to be able to do much, and Harbor doesn't have the support ults online to be able to deal with it.
Yeah, no, Redditors have really been pretty good with their ult economy, with everyone pushing Q relatively at the same time. But that being said, J-Prod has held onto that blade for at least a fight or two, knowing that Harbor and Eviscerator probably don't have their ults online because these fights are going out too quick.
Pink Lions taking out Rigel early, and a Rip Tire coming out into the back line. Let's see if it's going to catch. It catches 2, and this was... Their hubris was their downfall. Is that whatever Harbor said to me in the interview yesterday about the hubris? Because Redditors had all the cards to win that fight, and Hubris Hampter was able to pull it out. Now they have both of their support ults online coming into the next fight, and they're going to be able to counter J-Prod's blade as it comes in.
Hopefully this doesn't tilt the Redditors. One of those things when you almost clutch at a point. Whoa, we've gotten an aggressive ult
grab
here.
right into a window. That's a scary sight to behold. Acai taking out J-Prod, his counterpart on the Genji, and the cart is just moving up.
Yeah, no, it's just one of those things when, you lose a point that you basically held onto for 4 minutes and have had such fantastic wins, and then you lose it on that last fight. It can really tilt a team, so let's hope that Redditors can cool down here and really just focus out.
Early immortality followed up by a sleep, and then an immediate shatter coming in from the Papaphobic. Support ults galore as the Genji still not holding. Oh my god. Okay, here we go. We got a Genji blade. Acai coming in, cleaning house as Genji blades tend to do. And we have Stein doing a classic Stein move of hiding out. Let's see if he can just casually get himself a nice little pick.
Stein going for a pick here on the Ana, but he's been
contesting,
found out
and
and
he gets
slapped
by Eviscerator and pinned into oblivion.
What do you expect? What do you expect? Do you really expect you're going to go there and 1v6 everybody,
I
Stein?
mean, I think, if Stein's on Ana, that's a whole... That plays out very differently. Hubris Hampter now pushing in second. Looks like they're going to be able to take this. Now, J-Prod has actually held on to his blade for the 2 points now.
No, I think he did use it. I think
no,
but I don't think he got anything out of it. He may, you know what? Maybe not. There was a lot of Qs going down. It seems to be the kind of way these two teams interact, where they all just kind of get.
He didn't use it. He still has that blade. All right, thanks, Scott. There it is. The blade coming in from, and he gets grabbed. Solo grab immediately destroyed by Eviscerator, and the tire coming out into the back line. Pink Lions picking up 2 once again, opening the fight up for Hubris Hampter to be able to walk in and just annihilate these tires from Pink Lions.
Is there something on the bingo card which is like hold your ult for 2 minutes and then get grabbed and killed immediately?
Because no, I would like want to be actively mean to somebody like you're doing right now. And now we have Old Stoneface taking out Acai, and J-Prod switching over to the Tracer just to be able to pop Harbor in the face. As this is a brawl and a half. Papaphobic taking out Dr. Sensible, J-Prod taking out Papaphobic, taking out, and then Hubris Hampter are able to push it in with 1:25. This is going to allow for Hubris Hampter to get 1 push onto the point, and if not, we have a draw.
So it is 1st to 2, but there is enough that we do have enough in the map pool rotation for a possible 4th match.
The OFC team in their excellent planning, we have the possibility to go to a 4th map if we see a tie right now. And you know what? Based off of how well the Redditors held that point, we could very well see a tie here. But with 1:25, I mean, that's all it takes is for...
It's one fight. It's one fight win. But I will say, although the Redditors held point 1 so well, they hold point A so well, they got rolled the rest of the way. I mean, at the end of the day, it took them 4 minutes to take point A, but they still have 1:25 on that time bank.
Yeah. That's, I think they just couldn't get their footing again once the Hubris Hampter were able to take first point. And as we see very often, that, leads to a steamroll. steamrolls lead to more steamrolls, and then all of a sudden you have you're basically at a construction site filled with steamrollers.
We are getting, I don't know, you can tell me, but this may be as close to a mirror as we've seen tonight. We do only have the DPS being slotted out differently here.
Oh, there's also the support.
Oh, I thought there was.
So what we're seeing is actually just a Rhine Zarya mirror, as Hubris Hampter is coming in on the side of the statue and pumping damage into the backline. Asaid. Ooh, Rigel taking out Asaid early. Pink Lions. Okay, I'm not going to follow the entire thing, but people are killing each other, and then Harbor is able to push onto that point. Rigel desperately trying to pump the damage into his backline, but Harbor, it is all up to you, old Stoneface, as Ruby takes him out, and it seems as though
can the ball touch? A ball stall?
Oh,
not enough.
An excellent push from the Hubris Hampter, who won the first map as well, which means that this is the end. That's
wow,
first to two, and
I really felt like this was going to go longer. I really did. I felt like these were two fantastic matches. And I mean, I kind of wanted to see the draw. I kind of wanted to see a map 3.
Yeah, you know, it's always a possibility, but Genji plays. Yeah, Hubris Hampter now moving on to the semi-finals. Most likely, I feel like that's how that will work out.
I mean, if you go 2-0 in your qualifiers,
yeah,
that's
most likely a pretty good indication. I don't know if one of our chat people can tell us if that's true, but I'm fairly certain that it'll mean that they make it to the semi-finals right away.
But, you know, congratulations to the Hubris Hamsters, but as well, Redditors did a great job really kind of pushing them back and really making for some entertaining Overwatch.
That was definitely some entertaining Overwatch. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to take a quick break as we prepare for our next match, which I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I'm not mistaken. It is the last match of the night, and it is the Big Gay Agenda versus OK Boomer. Which, if you followed the interviews yesterday, also have a rivalry between each other because we have a married couple on either team.
Oh, see, I didn't listen to those interviews, so I am very interested to hear more about it when we get back from this break.